Hey guys, welcome back to the Debate Hut. Today we will be reviewing Disney's latest movie, Lilo and Stitch, which is the live action and remake version of the original animated movie from Disney, which came out in 2002, so ages ago. So this review will have spoilers, so if you are interested in watching the live action and you haven't yet watched it, then please do come back once you've seen it. But yeah, let's get started. But before we do, please like and subscribe and comment down below with your thoughts on Lilo and Stitch and how you found it. So, this movie is another live action that we really didn't really need, but it wasn't that bad. It isn't better than the original, not even marginally close. But out of all the live action remakes Disney has done, this is definitely not one of the worst. Sorry, Snow White and Mulan. So, starting with the characters, I absolutely loved Stitch. I'm so glad they brought back the original voice actor, and Lilo was amazing too. I loved both of them, and they executed both characters perfectly. Nani, she was okay. I'm gonna get onto her a bit more later, but personally, in moments, I felt like there wasn't much of a relationship between her and Lilo. But then there's a scene where she's in the hammock with Lilo, and that moment like made my heart melt. Like it was so cute and so wholesome. Yeah, I just love the original, like getting to see how close both sisters are, and even though they both get on each other's nerves, they still are sisters and they still love each other so much. But I did not get that feeling with this movie. David, nothing really special. I love David in the animated version. I haven't really got much to say about him in this one. I couldn't care less. Sorry. The CGI for the aliens was pretty good, but Pleakley and Jumba, oh, they ruined them. They just did not fit so well with the voice acting. Like, don't get me wrong, like when they were humans, they seemed fine. Like it seemed to work fine. But as aliens, it just did not match. The voice and the alien just it did not match. And then the whole twist with Cobra and the social worker, I can't say I'm a fan of it. It just seemed kind of pointless. But I do love that the social worker is the original voice of Nani, so that was kind of sweet to include
Oh,
her.
I didn't know that.
Wow,
No,
there you
same.
go. Story-wise, so it's pretty much the same, like it had the same sort of core elements, but they did change it up. Of course, it's Disney and their live actions. But they didn't change it to the point where it completely ruined it, but it kind of did, but it kind of didn't. It's a bit hard, but yeah. But there were moments I hated. First one, Jumba. Jumba basically became the movie's Captain Gantu at the end. And I hated it. I loved Jumba in the original, and they ruined him in this movie. The whole Jumba and Pleakley as humans on Earth. Now, I get why they did that, made them humans on Earth. Like it was to make it different, and ultimately it did save money for Disney because in terms of CGI. But I love that moment in the original where they dressed up as humans and were having dinner together, and then the wig gets pulled off, like that whole scene. So funny, so iconic. And I think I do remember that the director or someone in the movie said that they couldn't include it, which is so annoying. But yeah, that those two things. But the biggest thing was Nani and the ending, and we have to talk about it because I absolutely hated it. The twist with Nani actually going off to study marine biology, and I don't have anything against marine biology. It's not that. It's not that. So in the original, Nani is allowed to keep Lilo and take care of her, and I feel like that was really important as it showed the importance of family and how important staying together is. And I get it, she would have to be a carer, but I feel like that was important to show because there are people in this world who are in that same position. But the live action, the live action. They made it seem like, oh, Nani can do whatever she wants. She should go live her dreams, which, yes, is important. Don't get me wrong. But it was kind of like she doesn't need to worry about Lilo. She just has to put herself first. Disney, are you saying that we should put ourselves first and forget about our families? And you know what? They could have
So much
changed the
for a Hannah.
message. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was gonna come to. They could have changed the message. They could have said that she could have done both. Like she could have taken care of Lilo, like while Lilo was at school, she could go off to do hair courses or something else.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they do both? It really peeved me off that ending. Like the rest of the movie, I was okay. But the ending, oh, it's so bad when the ending is the bit that you hate the most. That is, oh, but like Ellie said, Ahana, Ahana means family. Family means no
Yeah.
one gets left behind. Oh, this movie did not did not convey that message. Lilo even said in a hammock scene that she loved Nani as a mother. And before that, she said that she liked her better as a sister. Like, we can't, come on. How can you leave the girl after she said something like that? Like, who could do that? I feel like this whole movie, we had so much development of Lilo and Stitch, and Nani just stayed the same throughout. She was battling with her decision of either keeping or giving up Lilo, and then she ends up deciding to give up Lilo. Like, and one thing I really liked about the original is that Nani fought back. She was like, "No, I want Lilo to stay with me. She needs to stay with me." But this one, it was just like, who cares? You go off. Don't need you. You got family. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Sorry for that rant, but it needed to be said. But to end on a good note, the soundtrack. Absolutely loved it. I've not been a fan of the live action soundtracks apart from Aladdin, but they nailed it for Lilo and Stitch. I also love that they got some of the original people back in for the music, like the children's choir. Of course, it's not the same children because it has been ages, but it's the same school choir. So that was really nice, a really nice addition. And then the incorporation of Elvis too, because Elvis has a rich history with Hawaii. So love that they kept that in. Otherwise, it just would not have been Lilo and Stitch. And then also the comedy, it was really good. I could see all of us laughing throughout as well when watching it. I mean, it's Stitch and Lilo. Of course, there's gonna be trouble, and of course, we're gonna laugh. But yeah, a good movie. Definitely worth watching, especially for Lilo and Stitch. But everything else is meh. They ruined it. But yeah, do stay tuned for our original versus live action remake debate, which will come out soon for Lilo and Stitch. I think that is gonna be one to watch. But yeah, it was okay.
So obviously we've had quite a few remakes from Disney. I do have to say Lilo and Stitch is up there with some of the good ones. Not that it's really much to compare to, but I won't go into some of the awful ones that we've had because this one is for Lilo and Stitch. Like Emily said, there are some good and bad things about this film. We have had an adorable Stitch brought to us with some really good details and design, which I love. They didn't ruin him like they did Sonic, and we had to bully them into remaking him, but we actually had a good designed Stitch that whose character was the one that we love. I think at some points that he could have had a little bit more character or just like brought him in just like a little bit more like he is in the original. But for the most part, Stitch was Stitch, and I loved that. Lilo as well done an amazing job acting along something CGI like that must not have been easy. I'm bearing in mind this is a young girl actor. She has done really, really well, and absolute props to her for bringing Lilo and Stitch to life. Nani, I was on the fence about from the beginning, simply because there was a lot of controversy on how they picked her character. But overall, I think she done a good job. I do think there was a little bit to the ending, which we'll get to, that could have been adjusted. But overall, she was a good Nani. And like Emily said, that we did have a good bonding moment on those hammocks. I do think she could have had a bit more sisterly character, so we should say, just in the fact that she was very quick to give up almost. She didn't have that strive that Nani in the animation has, if that makes sense. Like she was very quick to just be like, oh, I can't do this. But in the animation, Nani's like, right, we're doing this, 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 and this. And I know she was trying to sort out the jobs and doing everything. And I have absolute props to her as a 19-year-old trying to care for like a 7-year-old, that's a really big thing and it's not easy to do. And I think Disney did change that around a bit just to show that it isn't easy and it's not an easy position to be in. But overall, I think she done a genuinely quite good job. Moving on to some of the characters I wasn't happy with. Love, Emily, that you brought that little Easter egg in. I didn't know that the social worker was the original Nani, which is adorable. Absolutely love that. Okay, hating it a little less now, but also think she could have been in there somewhere else because it was just unnecessary. Where is Bubbles? Give us Bubbles. Bubbles is such a unique character, an amazingly unique character as a social worker, and him pretending to be the social worker was actually the CIA, and it's just like such a good character. And he kind of just came in the last 20 minutes pretending to be one and almost had no character there at all. So it was just like we had such a unique balance between him and Lilo in the animation. Like them going back and forth, being like, you are not a social worker. Like, what are you doing? Who are you and why are you here? And like proper little tiffs between the two. But in this one, I think it happened once as a very quite forced conversation and then moved on. And now I will go into Pleakley and Jumba. Two amazingly unique characters, especially for the time that the film was made. They had such amazing character development throughout the whole film, and they had such cool designs and like the hidden characters that they made for themselves are insanely unique. And in this one, they threw it out the window. It's like they didn't even watch the original film. They were just like, oh, two aliens that disguise themselves on Earth. That's all they gave to us. Pleakley in the animation has amazing disguises that he loves to wear and dress up and wears wigs and dresses and it's it's genuinely amazing. And they got rid of it. And don't get me wrong, he was still quite quirky, but it just wasn't to the point that we needed it to be. As for Jumbo, they made him the villain. He has such a big character arc throughout the whole animated film, and they turned around and just took it away and carried on with him being the villain. I know they needed to change slight parts, but they really could have changed quite a, something else, anything else. So yeah, wasn't the biggest fan of that one, simply because he turned into like the really cool, slightly grumpy uncle. And in this one, he's just like, no, let's just stay the bad guy. It's just like, okay, what now? Really? Again, David, kind of bland. Made a couple jokes that I laughed at, but overall was just not the David that we love in the original film. So, as for watching, I definitely say watch it. I know I haven't given it the best review, but Lilo and Stitch really bring it up, funnily enough, because they are the main characters of the film, but they have done those two lovable characters very, very well. Nani's up there as well, and for those three, they are able to push forward on what we were actually given. It is a pretty good film, and I'd definitely say watch it if you're a fan of Lilo and Stitch.
Hi, aloha. And the one word I would describe this film is what you guys mainly use is okay. It's not horrible as Snow White, but it's not as good or great as Aladdin or Cinderella. The plot is okay. It's similar to the original, but they change out a few, or actually a lot of key details, like the aliens in human forms, which I completely dislike. And I felt like they really rushed through the intro of the film, like compared the intro to the original. Like they take their time and introduce like different characters, the atmosphere, the theme of the film. In the live action, they just rush through, thinking like, "Oh, you've seen the original. Let's just get through this and go to the main parts." It was completely wreck. The best things about this film is the sister bond between Lilo and Nani, and I really loved it because it felt similar to the original. It felt realistic and it felt adorable, and I could feel like general love between the two. Lilo is the same unique little strange girl who we admire and does weird things, but in a cute way. Nani, she has more character depth in the film, but I agree with you guys that her ending wasn't as standard as it was in the original. Now, another good thing, and I'm so bloody thankful that they didn't ruin was the design of Stitch. Before the teaser, I was petrified that they were going to ruin this character. And then after a few teasers, I could finally breathe. Like it was, whew. And I love where we could still see a few of his facial expressions and everything. He didn't look creepy. He looked cute, and he still looked like a vicious alien at the same time if he needed to be. So that was good. The bad bits. We mentioned that they changed a few details in the film, like big details, and I get that they were trying to spice up the story, but they also had like bad side effects in the plot. Like again, like Pleakley and Jumba's characters, like their chemistry in the original were great and funny. And I feel like they really dialed that down because Jumba is like full on villain and they were in like their human form. It just wasn't comedic enough or great as well. And the CGI aliens, to me, they were distracting, and I felt like they just felt incomplete in a way. They felt like they looked like they were a part of like a video game in a way, and they just didn't look right. I also hate, Ellie, you mentioned this about how Cobra, we first see him as a CIA agent and not as a social worker, and I feel like you're messing up his character. He's meant to be a mystery man helping the girls, not just full on alien inspection. Like, if you check out our Theory video, it explains about his character and how he's related to the girls. And they really ruin most of these characters. I also hate how they cut out some of the sweet and emotional parts from the original, like when Stitch found the ugly duckling story and how he relates to it about finding his own family. I'm like, you missed that out because that was whole part of the ending when he said, I found this family all on my own. It's broken a little, but it's still good. I mean, that was the whole point. It started from that book. And they also skip out, and I don't know why, they skip out the plane fight scene and when Stitch was on the truck with the lava and he shot himself out like a rocket. Where was that? Like, Disney is rich and they could have used that for money. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go overboard with this, but yeah, the film was okay. You guys said enough about that, but yeah, the film was okay. You don't have to rush to watch it. I say wait till it's free on YouTube or easy to access on a website or anything. Just don't rush because it's okay. Oh, one more thing. How would you guys rate this film? I'm gonna go with Emily.
Oh,
Sorry.
gosh. I'm gonna say a six.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say six. Yeah. I'm gonna go next with Grace.
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 or 6. Ellie?
On the scale of Disney remakes, I think I'm gonna have to give it a 7, simply for the ones that we've been given in the past. I think this deserves a little bit of a higher rating because it has done a lot better.
So, guys, that's the end of our spoiler review of Lilo and Stitch. We hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below if you guys seen the film and tell us your thoughts about the film. Did you like it? What do you not like about it? And do you think there might be a sequel or something? I don't know. Or is there any other live action films that you are interested in watching in the future? Before you leave, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And check out our other reviews we've done in the past. We've done a review of Snow White. You can watch it, but you don't have to watch the film. Don't worry, guys. And we also done a few Marvel. We done reviews on Thunderbolts, Deadpool and Wolverine, and we also done a few other non-Disney and non-Marvel films. Guys, they're on our channel. We done reactions, games, pranks, about us videos. Check them all out. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching again, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.